Hello everybody, thank you for watching Vagabond Builds, and coming at you today with the 2021 Mercedes E-350 AMG line. We're going to be talking about the exterior, the interior, and a little bit about the car. Please like and subscribe before we start that video, guys. Just take a few seconds and like this video. Alright guys, let's go. Now a little bit about the engine and the performance of this car. You have a 2.0 liter intercooled turbo gasoline direct injection at 255 horsepower at 5,800 RPMs, 273 foot-pounds of torque at 1,800 RPMs, and you have the option of all-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive in these cars. Now this particular car is a rear-wheel drive. A little bit about the fuel economy. It has a 17.4 liter gas tank size, gets about 22 in the city and 30 on highway, and a 25 miles combined range. And at the whopping price of an $80K price tag. Wow, guys, what a great price. So starting off talking about this 2021 Mercedes E-350, beautiful looking car, we're gonna come over to the front end and realize that there's been a facelift that Mercedes had brought to this newer model. We see coming over to the headlights, we see that there's a new daytime running LED light bar. We see that there's a new design look on the headlight itself. Coming over to the fog light bezels, we see that it has the cuts, giving it more an aggressive look. They added some more chrome to the front grille, giving it more of a classier, more beautiful look. I'm a big fan of that. And then you have the black gloss finish that on this particular car, they call it the Midnight Package, which I personally like also, along with the chrome, gives it a very beautiful aspect on the car. You see that Mercedes above their emblem put the front camera kind of hidden if you're not paying too close attention. And guys, coming over to the side of the car, beautiful look. You have the AMG lines. These are the 19 inches. They start over from the 18 inches depending on which package you have, and they continue to go up. You see that on the side of the car itself, that Mercedes didn't change much on this E-Class, but it kept this beautiful sedan look, classy look. You have under your side view mirrors, you have your right and left, depending on which side of the car you are. You have your cameras that allow you to drive and helps you with the car and the lane assist. You have your, again, gloss black trim pieces on this midnight look. You have a little bit of chrome on the handles, giving it a very beautiful, kind of classy yet sporty look, everybody. You have your full panoramic glass, which this is beautiful. I'm a big fan of these cars that have these big panoramic sunroofs, that on the sunroof you could either tilt or put all the way back. It is a great option to have on the car. Coming over to the rear end of the car, you have this newly redesigned also rear end facelift. You have the more wide yet thinner look on these tail lights. You have them sharpening out as they hit the trunk lid. You have a chrome trim here. You have a gloss finish trim here. And then you have the AMG bumper, of course, giving it more of a sportier, aggressive look. And one thing I do have against the Mercedes is that, yes, you do have your matte chrome finish here, but the only problem is that I have is they don't connect the exhaust fully to the exhaust tips. So it's kind of a fake exhaust tip per se. Now coming over to the trunk space, by the click of a finger on this electric button, automatically opens the trunk lid. And now you have the 13.1 cubic feet trunk space on this beautiful Mercedes E-Class. Now you see, if you want to head out for the weekend, you can fit about 5 personal luggages or 2 full-size luggages, depending on who you're going with. By the lifting of this little lever, you can lift up, and now you have your personal space, maybe for an extra backpack or something personal like a laptop. Putting that down, you also have the electric buttons here to lock the trunk or to automatically bring that trunk lid down. And beautiful part of this car is you have these 2 levers for the right and the left side of the car. And by opening these levers, as I open them, the 2 front seats, the driver and the passenger, automatically move forward, that you're able to put these back seats down. And now if you're trying to head out for the weekend, maybe over to the mountain, you can throw your skis back there or your snowboard or something else that's a whole lot more long than just your regular luggage. Now before entering the interior of the car, I would like to show you guys at the push of the gas lid, very nice and easy, an automatic opening gas lid, which makes it a whole lot more convenient as you're pumping gas at the gas station. And last but not least, coming over to the front windshield of this car, on the top side of this windshield, you have your 3 cameras that help with lane assist or lane control as you're driving and so forth. Now finishing up with the exterior of this car, don't forget that the major competitors are BMW 5 Series and Audi A6 Series. But what's beautiful about Mercedes and what Mercedes offers, other than this 4-door sedan, is that they offer an all-terrain wagon, a 2-door cabriolet, and a 2-door coupe in this exact class. Now coming onto the rear interior of this car, at the opening of the door, what do we see? We see this very beautiful door panel. We see that it has the 3-tone trim. We have the black stitched leather, beautiful look, along with this glossy wood look with this beautiful cream and this matte chrome finish. I'll wait for you guys on the other side. Now coming into the car, we're gonna flip these back seats up. And as we flip these back seats up, we see that this beautiful rear seat has the beautiful stitching, very comfortable look, giving it a very exquisite, classy, luxurious feel. Flipping down this center armrest, beautiful, personal for each side of the car. At the click of a button, you can lift this lid and put your personal belongings or whatever you have. And then also at the push of these 2 levers here, you have both cup holders, one for each side. Kind of a cheap fill, but hey, something that Mercedes has to work on. If you have children, by the lifting of these 2 clips, just like that, they pop right out, and putting it back in, you can hook up your car seats or your booster seats or whatever you have. And coming over to the rear of the center console, by the push of this lid, you have your 12-volt outlet. If you want to charge something or plug something in, you have your ashtray. And we see that by this cute little button knob, you can open and close by turning right to left and controlling the airflow. Now, coming into the car, sitting down to see the exact space that Mercedes has to offer in their rear seats, you see that for a tall person like me, I'm about 6'2". You have enough space from the front seat. You have your personal pockets for your personal belongings. But the only thing is about this car is that I'm tall, and if I sit up straight, my head touches the ceiling. So for the short, they have a little bit more access to this car. You have this handle here with this beautiful light. By the push of a button, when you're driving at night, you get your reading night light. Now sitting in the driver's seat of this beautiful E-Class Mercedes, we see on the driver door panel, beautiful, beautiful part of Mercedes and what it signatures on their cars is on the top side of the door panel, they give the seat controls. You have the headrest control, the backrest control, and then the rear bottom cushion control. And also on this particular car in class, you have the leg extension, also known as the leg rest control. You have 3 settings. Depending on who's driving this car, you can set the memories of which position each one likes. You have your heated seat. And then you have the 4-window control panel along with the side view mirrors control panel and also the trunk lid button here. Now coming over to this new look redefined steering wheel that some people like or some people don't. Again, depends on preference. I personally like it. We see that the angle of the steering wheel is a little bit different on the hold. Some people like it, some people don't. I personally do. Some people say it kind of gives them a squished feeling, but I don't see that. You have your touch sensitive panel. On an AMG line, you have your 2-spoke steering wheel. You have your paddle shifting, positive being on the right, negative being on the left. You have your automatic steering column extension rod here on the left. By the push of the rod, you can control how far the steering column is from you. Here on the left, you have your lights right under this dashboard. And then you have your automatic control rod here on the right. And then everything else, such as your windshield wipers, your signal lights on the left. Looking at the screen on this 2-screen, 1-glass entertainment system, you see that it is touchscreen, which is a very beautiful option that Mercedes offers. Just like that. And then on the left, you will be able to control this screen with your touch sensitive panels on your steering wheel. You can go from gas consumption to GPS and whatever specifications on the car that you want to know, or what the car is doing as you're driving. Very beautiful option, great look. Now coming over to the center console look, not much has changed. A little bit has changed from the older look over to the newer look. You have your temperature control panel here. That, by some people, like the manual, some people don't. I think Mercedes should upgrade. You have your temperature controls here by the click of a button. You have your settings on how hard you want that airflow to come into the car. You have your menu button along with your syncing temperature button, AC, and personal temperature for the passenger seat. You have your buttons such as your hazards, your radio, your navigation, telephone, and so forth right here by the push of the buttons. And then you have this panel here, this glossy wood look. And what Mercedes has changed on this panel itself is this control palm panel. Gave it more of a newer look, redefined, touch sensitive. Now this panel here controls this screen also. So not just being touch sensitive on the screen, but this is also touch sensitive, and you can swipe from right to left by the swipe of a finger. Now, if you wanted to go home on that screen, you would press down, feel a little bit click, would send you right home, and you can control going from right to left or back. Now you have your dynamic buttons here. You can control in which mode you're on this car. So by the click of this button, up or down, you can put the car in Eco, Comfort, Sport, Sport Plus. We're going to keep it in Eco, so we're eco-friendly. But if you are wanting a luxurious, more comfortable feel, you would put it in Comfort. And if you're feeling a little bit more lively, a little bit more rough on the drive, you would want to put it in Sport or Sport Plus and so forth. We're going to keep it in Eco. And then you can lift the car by the push of a button here. You have your cameras all around the car by the push of a button, just like that. Also your radar sensors letting you know what's around the car, bird eyes view, left, right, rear, front. And then you have your entertainment turn off button here, your rear window visor, and your wheel for your volume on your radio or your music that you're listening. We'll bring that down. You have your control panel here for opening and closing these vents, and you're able to control the direction of the airflow. Now, something that I want to point out on these interiors of these cars is this beautiful black leather stitching. Man, what a great stitching that Mercedes offers in this. You got your black gloss trim piece, again, the midnight package. You have your ambient light bars that come under the dash panels here, giving it a very beautiful, classy look when you're driving this car at night. Amazes people, always getting inside the car, telling them that it looks great. You have your stitching. Look at this stitching. I mean, just great. What a comfortable feel, even sitting in this driver's seat. As you're driving this car, I want you to just pay attention to this seating. Look at the shape of the seat itself, the stitching, the back support, the lumbar support. Gosh, what a great seat. Keeps you in the seat as you're driving, making sure that you're not all over the place. Very beautiful signature from Mercedes. Continuing over to the top of the car, we have your sunroof, very beautiful panoramic. Now, something that I'm not big on, I wish they would have made a full panoramic glass without this split down the middle. But hey, certain manufacturers do it, certain don't. I personally like the full panoramic look. By the push of a button, you can push this visor back. And also, as opening this visor, the rear one opens also. Very beautiful. And then by the push of a button, you can tilt or open the sunroof. Very quiet, doesn't disturb you. Now, one thing I love about these Mercedes is the airflow on these sunroofs. Very great airflow as you're driving the car, and we'll be coming back to that a little bit later on in the video. You have your reading lights, your dome lights here on the top, your SOS button. And if you have a pair of glasses, for people who wear sunglasses, right here, sunglass holder. Now that we're done taking a look over the interior of this car, let's take this bad puppy for a ride and show you some pretty cool things. Now don't forget, buckle up. Click it or ticket. Now, as you put the seatbelt on, this seatbelt retractor pulls the seatbelt for you, making you feel safe in your driver's seat, and Mercedes allowing you to know that they want you to be in the seat before the drive. Now, the parking lever here, we're gonna push that down over to the drive position, and it automatically lifts the parking brake up. First thing I notice, comfortable feel on this car. Being the luxurious class on this Mercedes, very comfortable feel. Now let's get this sunroof open and check out the airflow. Very light on the turning. We're in eco mode, don't forget, everybody. So as I'm pressing the brake pedal, very responsive brake pedal. Feel like it grabs good on this car. Making a left. Very nice feel. Now, responsive gas pedal. I believe even putting it in the sport mode, which we'll do just a little bit later, I'm sure the gas pedal is going to get a little more stiff, a little more reaction time on that push. On the right. Now, let's say you want to go somewhere and you want GPS. Beautiful part of this car is if we go home, click on navigation, and you get a full screen navigation. So it doesn't throw you off while you're driving or doesn't distract you because it's right there in your face. Another cool thing about this car is that you can actually add a full screen navigation right in front of you by the touch sensitive panel here. You can do that setting on this dash. Swiping up, you'll change your radio stations here, gas consumption, mileage, and so forth, guys. You have your clock. And coming over to the right, you can control it. Miles per hour, and controlling the right clock. Now that camera in front of you that I was talking about earlier on in the video, it gives you lane assist, but also range control. So it lets you know if there's anything in front of you as you're driving. Let's say there's another car in front of you, and when you have the lane assist control on, it practically helps you drive, braking for you, and so forth, which is a very cool option. Keeps you safe on your everyday drive. And now you have your GPS here, as I was saying, but you can also make that a full screen GPS. Coming over to the middle, and let me show you that option. And you see you can make that a full screen, which is a very cool feature to have on these newer cars. All right, finishing up the review on this car. Thank you so much again for watching our channel, Vagabond Builds. Please like, and subscribe to our channel, guys. We really appreciate it. And then also leave comments, questions in the comment section below. We'll try to get back to you guys as best as we can. Shout out to Pepe for the car and the review. And stay tuned, merchandise coming soon. Thank you guys so much again for watching Vagabond Builds. We're out.